You know, in India, our connection to gold, it runs deep. It's in our culture. For centuries, it's been the ultimate sign of wealth. But something's changing. There's a new kind of gold rush happening right now, and it's not in temples or in jewelry shops. It's happening inside the very tech that's powering our country. So let's go find this high-tech treasure.
So let me just ask you this. Why on earth is a 5,000-year-old metal inside your smartphone? I mean, it sounds kind of crazy, doesn't it? We think of our phones as these futuristic things, all silicon and glass. But the shocking truth is, this ancient precious metal is one of the most vital parts of the device you're probably holding in your hand right now. And the reason why? Well, it changes absolutely everything about how we value gold today.
Think about it. For literally thousands of years, gold's value came from what it was. It was passive. It was ornamental. It was a store of wealth that just sat there. But in our digital world, it's a complete flip. Now, gold's value comes from what it does. It's no longer just passive wealth. It is active performance. It's the essential conductive heart of modern technology.
Okay, first things first. We're going to uncover the secret that's literally hidden in the palm of your hand. And we'll see why this ancient metal is actually an engineering marvel.
So what's its secret? Well, it all comes down to the science of reliability. Gold has this unique set of physical properties. You could almost call them superpowers that make it pretty much irreplaceable in high-tech electronics. Now here's where it gets really interesting. You might be thinking, hey, what about copper? It's a slightly better conductor and it's way, way cheaper. So why don't we use it? Well, one word, oxidation. Copper corrodes, it rusts, and especially in a humid climate like India's, that corrosion is a death sentence for a delicate device. Gold, on the other hand, gold is practically immortal. It's a fantastic conductor that never oxidizes. It just works flawlessly for years and years.
So how much of this wonder metal are we talking about? It's a tiny amount. A single smartphone has just, get this, 0.034 grams of gold. It seems like nothing, right? A rounding error? But, and this is a really big but, this is where the story gets huge really fast.
Okay, so you take that tiny, tiny speck of gold. Now, let's multiply it by the more than 1 billion smartphones that are active in India right now. All of a sudden, we're not talking about grams anymore, are we? We're talking about a massive, invisible gold mine that's scattered all across the country.
And you can bet that this invisible mine has not gone unnoticed. It's actually sparked a new kind of digital gold rush. And it's being driven by a national strategy to turn what seems like a massive problem, our growing piles of e-waste, into a huge strategic asset.
A really crucial piece of this whole puzzle is government policy. See, the India Semiconductor Mission 2.0 isn't just about building factories, it's about securing the entire supply chain. The government is actively helping to pay for critical raw materials, and that includes the super high-purity gold we need to make the next generation of computer chips right here at home.
But with gold prices hitting record highs, depending on imports just isn't a smart long-term strategy. And this is where a really revolutionary solution comes into play: urban mining. Instead of digging into the earth, we're digging into our own junk electronics.
And this chart, wow. This is why it's such a game changer. Look at these numbers. If you mine 1 ton of raw ore, you might get a few grams of gold. But if you process 1 ton of e-waste, we're talking old phones, circuit boards, you can get up to 300 times more gold. Let that sink in. Our cities have become richer mines than the earth itself. This isn't just a little better, it's a completely different way of thinking.
So how does this magic actually work? The process is called hydrometallurgy. It sounds complicated, but it's really elegant. First, you collect and shred up old circuit boards. Then you dissolve them in a special liquid. This liquid basically acts like a chemical magnet, pulling out the precious metals and leaving everything else behind. And finally, you reclaim pure, high-grade gold ready to be put right back into a brand new device.
And the story doesn't stop with our phones. Not even close. The incredible properties of gold are pushing the boundaries of science and technology in some ways that are just awe-inspiring.
I mean, gold is absolutely critical for space travel. A super thin film of it protects our satellites from the sun's harsh radiation. In medicine, scientists are using tiny gold nanoparticles to deliver drugs directly to cancer cells, leaving healthy tissue alone. And it's also completely changing medical diagnostics. In fact, if you've ever taken a rapid antigen test, you've seen this yourself. You know those red lines that show up to give you the result? That's not ink. It's a reaction that you can only see because of the unique way gold nanoparticles play with light, a tiny bit of high-tech gold giving you critical health info in minutes. Crazy, right?
So when you put all of these pieces together, our phones, our satellites, even our health, it's pretty clear that gold's role in the world has fundamentally changed. It's helping to define a whole new standard for nations' wealth and power.
Traditionally, India's huge gold reserves, we're talking over $115 billion, have acted like a geopolitical shield, a defense against economic shocks. But by recycling gold for our own tech industry, we're not just being green, we are forging a new kind of economic independence.
And really, this is the bottom line. For 5,000 years, gold was the standard of wealth. Today, in the digital age, it has become the standard of performance. It's the benchmark for reliability, for innovation, and for progress.
And all of this leaves us with a huge question for the future. As India's tech ambitions get bigger and bigger, which path do we take? Do we double down on urban mining and become truly self-reliant? Or will we keep depending on expensive imports? The choice we make is going to define India's technological destiny.